All right. In the meantime, kids, guess who it's time for?
Speaking of funny and smart, I want to bring on Tina Dupuy. Tina Dupuy is brilliant. She's funny. She's a terrific writer.
Tina does everything, and I just love her already.
Oh, God. Good morning, Tina Dupuy.
Good morning, Stephanie Miller.
That is a filthy little jingle we have there.
Indeed.
So, great piece on the Southern Fried Christian Sharia. I mean, everybody obviously has been talking about the Zimmerman trial, but wow, let's forget racism for a minute. There's a lot of good old-fashioned sexism going on state by state, isn't there?
There is. There's a lot of paranoia about Sharia law, of course, because that would subjugate women, and so they've used that as an excuse to wait for it. Subjugate women.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wait for it, everybody. Yes, you say, and you specifically were talking about North Carolina, among others, but you say they described what was it was described as an anti-Sharia law bill. You say this religion they fear would dictate our rights and punish dissent. It would blur the lines between church and state. Women would be subjugated. Then with absolutely zero appreciation for irony, the state Senate amended the bill to quickly and somewhat secretly restrict access to legal and constitutionally protected abortion. Why? They're religious convictions. And you say, nice tactics, scare people with the specter of Islamic totalitarianism and then pass a bill that would make Pakistan pause. I see what you did there. Nicely written. Nicely written. I mean, it really is just with no sense of irony, right?
Absolutely. But also, I think that we just haven't been paying attention because we really have thought that these Republican lawmakers at the state level are going to focus on things like jobs, like infrastructure, like the things that lawmakers are supposed to be doing. And instead, they've been singly focused on making sure that that women have less access to women's health care clinics. And may I remind everyone out there that if you have a vagina, just saying,
yes.
These health care clinics are not there just so you can kill your baby, their words. They're not just there for abortions. That is actually not true. If you get a UTI and you are a person who does not have health insurance, this is where you go to get treatment for that. This is not something you can just go to the drugstore for. Like, they actually make this, it's our reproductive organs, Stephanie, very costly as far as upkeep.
That's true. They are an indulgence I may not be able to afford much longer in this economy.
That is so true, and which is why it was for Obamacare, it was a pre-existing condition to have the reproductive ability.
Yeah.
So the healthcare clinics, a lot of women depend on Planned Parenthood for their primary health care, for screenings and to make sure that, if anything goes awry, they are able to be taken care of and at least seen without going to an ER.
Yeah.
And for affordable prices, it's subsidized health care, and you're able to actually get seen. I know before I had health care, which is a pretty recent thing in my life, I was going to Planned Parenthood for all my health care needs.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's what's very story.
My favorite line in your piece is, religion is the sand you throw in someone's face before you rob them. But in this case, it's true. You say disorient.
What would Jesus do? Give me money.
Yeah.
Well,
you say Christianity has been used to justify everything from the Crusades, sectarian wars, and inquisitions to witch burnings, cross burnings, and Christian rock. That is probably the most egregious crime against music, in my opinion.
I'm not fighting you on that one.
Right. Right. But the point is, theology makes for horrible government, and you talk about how this has been proved sort of the world over, right?
Well, that's true. I mean, a buried story, and it's hard to even find it in the international news, is that they're having riots, and there's been 32 cops that have been injured in Ireland because they're having sectarian violence, and the Protestants are mad at the Catholics, and they're throwing Molotov cocktails. That's this week. It's the third day of this happening. This happens all the time, and we kind of go like, okay, well, if everyone just prayed the same way to the same God, everything would be peaceful, and that's just not historically accurate. Mm-hmm. So
right, and you say religion is subjective, selective, and discriminated. It's the opposite of democracy, no matter if it's Christianity, Islam, or gluten-freeism, and those people are the most militant. Let me just say.
Oh, can we just talk about them for a second?
Yeah.
Like, come on, people, really?
Come on, really?
You know, have some balance. Have some bread.
Have some bread and hush. Yeah, but I mean,
The body of Christ.
yeah, but it's interesting. You talk about everything. You tie it into everything from what's happening in Egypt to even George Zimmerman. You said when asked about if he regretted killing the teenager, he said it was God's plan and he wasn't going to second guess him. You know, you're right. Religion's used to justify just about everything, isn't it?
That was really shocking to me. And really, what was shocking to me in that Hannity interview with George Zimmerman was that he actually had to get egged on by Sean Hannity to show a little contrition. This is a true story. Like, if you watch it again, it's about a half-an-hour interview, and he really, like, Sean Hannity's like, come on, you feel a little bad, right? Come on. And towards the end, Zimmerman's like, yeah, well, you know, I'm sorry that I was put in a position where I had to kill him. And I was like, oh, wow, that sounds like a cop. But yeah, you know, he's talking directly to Hannity's audience, and he goes, you know, it's God's will.
We had to burn the village in order to save it.
Yeah, I mean, but then, you know, you draw it to even what happens in Texas with, you know, Governor Oops, as you call him, and, you know, what he's doing. And this is a great point. You say in Texas they want to deregulate everything except the womb. Yeah, fertilizer plant's fine. Do whatever you want, right? But you know, it's locked down in everybody's womb.
Texas is open for business unless your business happens to be, you know,
right.
Your business.
Right. Your Lady Bits business.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, indeed. What, you know, larger point, you know, where do you think this is coming from? I mean, literally, I'm like going, what is going on? I mean, I was looking, you know, transvaginal Bob in Virginia, of course, was one of the first ones, right, with a transvaginal probe. I mean, but now it's like spreading across the country, these really egregious laws.
I think it's happening in the vacuum of economic distress. I mean, I think that throughout history, and you can see this, anytime there's social upheaval or economic downtimes, you kind of have, like, religious extremism is able to take root. It happened during the Depression. It happened during the 60s because of the upheaval. It happened during the fall of Rome. It happened during the Civil War. You kind of like have these movements that get a resurgence. They get oxygen when we're having any kind of turmoil in our country. And right now things are, you know, I mean, look at the news. We're having some turmoil, and we're also having a lot of people who are not doing well economically. They're angry, and they don't know who to blame. And instead of the white criminals on Wall Street, we suddenly want to just, you know, have hunting season on black kids, black teenagers with Skittles.
Yeah, exactly. Well, by the way, somebody said the other day, if transvaginal Bob has to resign, women should be able to do a full body cavity search to see if there's any other bling that he's taking off with taxpayer money.
Fair.
Yeah, I think so. It's only fair. Just saying.
It's the government, you know, I mean.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. All right, Tina Dupuy of the editor-in-chief of Contributor.com. Great stuff as always, honey. Thanks for coming on.
You're the best.
Thank you. No, you. Okay, love you, bye. All right, let's go to Yvonne in Sacramento real quick. Hey, Yvonne, welcome.
Hello.
Hi,
how are Hi.
Hi.
Glad to talk to you. Listen, I just wanted to mention something. I'm one of those folks who, of course, is infuriated by this whole Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin issue. And I'm from California, and I see people that are protesting. We even had a few riots, but I'm also one of those folks that go on vacation, and I just canceled my trip to Florida. My kids were really excited about Disney World, but they're not going because I'm not spending one dime.
We have Disneyland out here.
Disneyland is
come to
fabulous.
Disneyland out
Please,
here.
Come to Disneyland.
They actually have some better rides.
Yeah, exactly. Disney World. Okay, 17 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show.
I got her number off the men's room stall. 1-800-STEP-12.